What on earth is going on at Williams? The third most successful team in Formula 1 history are going through a few major changes. At very short notice, the CEO and team principal of Williams Racing, Jost Capito, has left the team alongside its technical director, Francois Xavier Demasion. The team is currently hiring a new driver in the form of Logan Sargeant, who in my opinion is not the driver they need to bring success back to this legend of the sport. And overall, the team just looks in a state of disrepair. Right. To make sense of all of this, let's first look at Jost Capito and the reasons for his departure. We'll start in 2020. Enter American investment firm Dorilton Capital, who bought the team, bringing with them a new era of hope and investment. Dorilton injected money into the team, upgrading their facilities and hiring Jost Capito, a man with over 40 years of experience in motorsport, including his successful stint with the Volkswagen outfit in the World Rally Championship. Capito was brought in to lead Williams back to the front of the pack, but things haven't quite gone according to plan. The team moved from their lowest point in history to 8th in the Constructors' Championship in 2021, but this was largely due to George Russell's incredible podium at the Belgian Grand Prix. Unfortunately for the Williams team, in 2022, the team struggled to keep up with the new technical regulations introduced that year and dropped back to the bottom of the field, scoring only 8 points. Capito attempted to turn things round by reorganising the technical team and trying to change the culture of the organisation. He also put a focus on enhancing the brand and making a big push to increase their profile in the United States. However, his recruitment of Demasion, the technical director, whom he worked with at Volkswagen, was seen as an error by the new owners. The car underperformed in 2022, and sources say that the team was already anticipating another difficult year based on the current design. Despite the challenges, it appeared that Capito was set to stay on for another year, as he believed that it would take at least 5 years to turn Williams' fortunes around. However, Dorilton Capital decided that Capito was not the right person to lead the team going forward.
You're fired.
And also laid the blame at the door of Demasion, who was ultimately responsible for the technical team. It is believed that the team's Achilles heel has been the technical structure. When Capito joined, he found that trackside engineering and factory engineering were not aligned at all and were reporting into different channels. This lack of cohesion is a legacy of the former technical director Paddy Lowe and the team's decision not to fill the role under previous management. With James Vowles a serial winner as the new Williams team boss, he believes that sweeping changes need to be made to bring the team back to its former glory, and that with the support of Dorilton Capital, he can change the culture, methods and systems. While the likes of Toto Wolff have backed him on these words, I think that it will be an incredibly tough task for the former Mercedes chief strategy engineer, especially when managing a new rookie in the form of Logan Sargeant. Speaking of Logan Sargeant, let's take a look at this guy and what makes him suitable for Formula 1. Logan had quite a successful karting career, becoming a karting champion by the age of 14, though it is his car racing career that I will be taking a bit more of a deeper dive at. After moving to Europe to become more competitive at his car racing career, it was the British F4 Championship where he made his car racing debut. He fought throughout the season for the title with 2023 McLaren F1 driver Oscar Piastri and GT3 driver Jamie Caroline, ending up P3 in the championship. In 2018, Logan raced in the Formula Renault Euro Cup Series, where in the first race of the season, he'd win his first race in France, and then another in Germany and in Spain, finishing the season off with 218 points, finishing 4th in the championship. After these 2 years, which you could describe as fairly successful to say the least, Logan stepped up to the F1 feeder series FIA Formula 3, racing for Hi-Tech GP. Now, as many fans of feeder series probably know, all cars are the same in F3, using the Dallara 320 chassis, the same engine, aero, the lot. However, some teams are still better than others due to staffing, data, resources, etc. And hence some teams are more competitive than others. As it would go, Hi-Tech GP were not good this season, and as a result, he really couldn't battle for podiums or victories, finishing in the points only 4 times. In 2020, Logan moved to the best team on the grid, Prema Racing, partnering Frederik Vesti and Oscar Piastri. This could be seen as somewhat of a breakout year, where he scored his first F3 victory at Silverstone, and then another in Belgium. At this point, it looked like Sargeant was the main man to beat for the title, though he eventually bottled it, having poor weekends for the rest of the season, where in the end he would finish third in the standings. It is at this point where an up-and-coming hotshot would be expected to progress through to FIA Formula 2, though due to the nature of racing cars, this was expensive and he simply couldn't afford it. Instead, he was forced into another season of Formula 3, where he would perform a lot worse than the season prior, only scoring 102 points. However, it was Williams that rescued his career, bringing him into the Williams Driver Academy in 2021. As a result of this newfound funding, he signed for Carlin to race in Formula 2, where he would get some solid results. Silverstone once again was a good track for him, bringing his first win of the season. He won again at the Red Bull Ring, though the next rounds were a miss, with retirements coming in 5 of the next 9 races, dropping him firmly out of contention for the title. Moving on a bit, with Latifi's awful performance, it was clear that for Williams to succeed, they needed Latifi out, though with Sargeant finishing 4th in the championship that year and not with a stellar junior career, how did he get that F1 seat? Well, I feel that Williams were kind of forced into signing Sargeant for a few reasons. Firstly was the loss of Oscar Piastri. Williams was initially set to have Oscar Piastri on loan from Alpine for 2023, but that fell through when Piastri's management engineered a move to McLaren. The next reason is the loss of Nick de Vries. Williams' next option was Nick de Vries, but he signed with AlphaTauri after impressing in his point-scoring debut at Monza. The next reason was that Williams wanted to back its own American driver. As previously mentioned, Jost Capito, an American company, really wanted to market themselves to the American audience, and hence signing an American driver who is part of their driver program is a good avenue to do this. Overall, the argument could be made that for the team there was no better option. While experienced drivers like Mick Schumacher were available, Williams saw Sargeant as the best long-term option for 2023 and beyond. After all, a driver like George Russell doesn't come around every year. So overall, what do I make of this? Well, to put it lightly, things aren't great for the men and women in Grove. While I do have faith in James Vowles, it is his first job of this nature, and a mighty one at that. I'm really not sure how long this Williams team will last in the sport, but hey, we'll see. So, what do you lot think? Will Williams make it back to their former glory, or even the midfield? Let me know in the comments below. And if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to smash that big fat subscribe button, turn on the bell for those notifications, like the video. Only 3% of my audience are subscribed, so any subscriptions would be greatly appreciated. With that said, thank you for watching. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Thank you.